Alright, hi students, welcome to week 4. I'm going to be posting this for Chuseok, and I'll tell you all about it, but I will be giving you some extra time to complete your Unit 2 assignment. I think for a couple of our classes, we'll be meeting on Thursday in class to finish the book together. Reading discussion 5 will probably be given a second part of this video on Wednesday because it's still Chuseok. Hopefully that all comes together on time, and then I will be giving you some extra time to complete the assignment. We do have a lot of Monday holidays coming up as well. After Chuseok, there's 3 in a row. I'll talk about that shortly, but hopefully these video lectures are working for you. We might have to switch to Zoom, but I'm sure that you guys are all aware of that application and how to use it. If I have been asked to change to Zoom, then I will have to. But for now, you can watch this lecture again and again, as much as you want to complete your assignment. In the meantime, let me just go very quickly through any of the news on this little PowerPoint here that you should be aware of. Classroom etiquette, I just kept this up for one more chance in case anyone's concerned. Always bring a mask, wear it to campus. Remember to always do your self-diagnostic on your CBNU app on your phone before you come to school or class, because you will be checked at the door. Okay, the COVID thing is still very real, and I did have one class canceled last week. Well, not canceled, but changed to online because of a nearby classroom that had an infected student. So please be careful, especially over Chuseok here. Wash your hands, wear a mask, try not to get any germs. The rest you kind of know. Just be careful with your assignments and your submissions and your class behavior, as well as being respectful. If you do have a question or comment, just raise your hand in a regular classroom setting. But if we do switch to Zoom, the same rule applies. You can just raise your hand and I'll be watching our screen. The class calendar, I kept this up because we will be changing, and as you remember, I did do some scheduled changes. This might be difficult to see right now, but most of you, I asked you to take a screenshot in class. Basically what it's stating is that mostly for the reading and discussion classes, we have Mondays coming up that are going to be online. So for this week, and for the Chuseok week I should say, week 4, we will be doing video discussions, video lectures. And for the following weeks, it's up to my department head and dean to tell me if I need to switch to Zoom for Mondays. But the rest of the week, Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your second class, we should be able to catch up with anything that's missing. Remember, your Unit 1 is due on Thursday, the day after Chuseok, in the morning, September 23rd at 11 o'clock. So do not wait until 10:52. Try to submit as early as you can. In fact, I hope most of you have finished your work before the weekend so you can enjoy your Chuseok. Anyway, you can submit up to 3 times without consequence, so I'll be reading your latest revision, whatever that is. Okay, but if you do not submit before 11, it will be you will not be able to submit your evidence, your proof of work. So please send me something, and then if you want to improve on it, you can. Okay. If you do have questions, Gmail, yes, that's my email, but we have Edmodo going. Just message me. That's the fastest way to do it. Message me on Edmodo, and I will respond. Okay? Just a second. Okay, so Unit 2 is, the topic is nutritional science, and for critical thinking, we'll be making inferences. I'll talk a bit about that. We'll be previewing a text for our reading section. We'll be using context to understand words in our vocabulary section, and using descriptive adjectives in our writing, as well as the use and placement of adjectives for our grammar. So the unit question is, what makes food attractive? We'll be considering that overall. The first part has got a couple of opening questions for you, and you can, like I said, you can always use a post-it because you don't have a lot of room in the student book here, or if you are writing in a notebook, just write down the page number. Okay, this is page 29, part A, question 1, question 2, question 3, and just write down on your in your notebook, okay, the page number and the question number. I should be able to read it legibly, but again, you can always use as simple as this. I think this size is enough for 3 or 4 sentences. You should be able to fit in your entire answer, and then you can simply show me your page and show me your answer quite easily. That's worked for a lot of students, and I find that it's also easy for me to see that it's your work specifically. So, but again, a notebook is also fine. If you run out of room in the student book, like there's not a lot of room to write down more than 1 or 2 sentences. So, choose what method works for you, but make sure that you are using whatever is best. Alright, there's 3 discussion questions to begin the unit. Fairly easy. What kinds of food do you eat every day? Remember, that's plural. What kinds of food do you eat every day? So you're thinking about categories of food or specifics. It's up to you in your answer. Number 2, what kinds of food do you eat on special occasions? Right? For example, birthdays, you might think of a birthday cake, right? What kinds of food? This is also plural, so I expect more than one answer. Okay. Look at the photo. Do you think how food looks, which is called its presentation, do you think how food looks affects how it tastes? So, when you look at this photo, what do you see? Is the presentation, okay, is the way that it looks acceptable? And then, but the general question is, think about any plate of food that you are presented with, okay? Do you feel that if you didn't see how it looked, okay, if you were in a dark room or if you were blind, or whatever extreme theory might pop into your head. If you couldn't see the food but you tasted the food, okay, you're going to have a different opinion. Or, I mean, when you see how it looks, are you willing to taste it? Okay, there's two extremes, I guess. Does the way that food looks, does the presentation affect your appetite and the way that it tastes overall? Part B, we're going to listen. The Q classroom again. Remember, I think there's a few of them. Una and Felix and a couple others are in the classroom. We're going to look at these questions. So Una says homemade food tastes the best. Why does homemade food taste better than prepared food? So homemade obviously means made at home. Okay, so it might be your mother or your grandmother or even your father or grandfather's food, or your brother or sister, who knows. Prepared food is just things that you can buy at the convenience store or even McDonald's or etc. Other prepared restaurants. Felix, number 2. Felix believes foods with too much sugar and fat can cause weight problems. In contrast, what kinds of food do you think help people lose weight? So in contrast means another way of thinking, okay, or the opposite, okay, in contrast. Like an example of contrast very simply would be black versus white, okay? Black is all the colors, and white is the absence of color, but they are complete opposites, right? In contrast, what kinds of food do you think help people lose weight rather than gain weight? The IQ practice you can just X because we are not doing online discussion boards, but let's listen to part B so you can answer those.
Unit 2, Nutritional Science, the Q classroom.
In Unit 2, we're going to talk about food. So today we'll start with the Unit 2 question, which is, what makes food attractive? Sophie, what do you think?
I think freshness is the most important thing. Vegetables from the garden taste delicious. Vegetables from the store only taste okay. The vegetables from the store usually travel a long distance, and I think that affects the taste.
Una, what do you think? What else makes food taste good?
Homemade. I like homemade food the best.
Well, I agree with both of you. Fresh food and homemade food taste good. Now let's consider ingredients. What ingredients make food taste good? Marcus, what do you think?
I think the right amount of salt is important. A lot of prepared food, like canned food, has too much salt. And I think in this country, a lot of homemade food has too little salt. It ruins a dish.
Interesting. Felix, what makes food taste good?
I think for most people, sugar and fat make food taste good. That's why we have weight problems. Because most of us like food with too much sugar and too much fat. Even foods that shouldn't really be sweet taste better to us when they're sweet, like yogurt or peanut butter.
Okay, so you can listen to that more than once if you'd like, but you can understand what their questions are apparent to your own questions to answer. Again, you can X the IQ practice on this page. Okay, moving on. Okay, reading number 1, we need to prepare. The objective is reading an article from a food magazine. Okay, so remember this textbook from Oxford, it supplies actual articles or interviews, videos. Everything is relevant to the topic, but it's also actual material, like real material. So we're going to read an article from a food magazine about why people like and dislike certain foods. And the unit assignment, of course, it says use the article to gather information and ideas for your unit assignment. Well, as I've pointed out before, we're not a writing class. The final unit question is not going to be too important, but the information that you gather over the next few pages until the end is also relevant to the other questions. So don't give up writing down as much as you can. Okay. We're going to preview which has already been shown, but anyway, preview the title and headings. There are two main reasons for writing the article, which you've already seen. Check the two reasons. So again, I'll just show the answers here. We're going to compare different kinds of tasters and give advice about people's food choices. Those were the reasons for writing the article. Alright, there's a quick write. Again, you don't have to write for 10 minutes, but you should be able to write down 3 or 4 sentences at least, which is a small paragraph. What is an important food or dish in your culture? Okay, so it could be a specific type of food. Considering I think most of you might be from Korea, if there's any international students, they might also share different ideas. What is an important food or dish in your culture? I'm pretty sure a lot of you might say kimchi off the top of your head, but you could also think of a dish, an actual set of ingredients put together. Okay, some of my favorites. Okay, if I wanted to use kimchi, I could also say kimchi jjigae. Okay, kimchi stew, which is hot and tasty, sometimes spicy, very nutritious. You might think of bibimbap. Alright, there's a lot of different reasons and ideas. Just use your own opinion. Think of an important food. Doesn't have to be kimchi, guys. I don't want to read 500 people writing kimchi because it's delicious. Think of a proper dish that is Korean and Korean only, unique to your culture and important to you. Vocabulary. So again, we have some different words here. Some of them are prepositional phrases such as at risk, but most of them are small pieces of grammar, adjectives, verbs. Here's a verbal phrase, be made up of. Okay, and here's a noun. But you can go to practice your online pronunciation as well. You can read the article. I'm not going to play the article. I'm going to let you read. I think that's important. And you can see different headers. Okay. And it goes all the way over here. Before you get into the vocabulary section, okay, remember they give you some little pieces of advice, skill reviews. In Unit 1, you learned how to identify word forms with a dictionary. We did that. Look at all the words in the sentences. Which words are adjectives? Which words are nouns used like adjectives? So they do give you a breakdown here. Remember, adjectives are words that help describe a noun. Okay? Nouns are a person, a place, or a thing, something tangible. An adjective helps describe that word. Okay. Should not be showing this. Alright. Going on to IQ practice again. You get more vocabulary practice. And then we have part C, which is circle the answer to each question. The main idea, what is true about taste buds, okay, etc. Alright. Answer the questions. So you basically have to show which paragraph each of these answers is found, and then you have to write down the actual answer to each question. Part E is identify. So you can read these sentences again. Find the sentences in each paragraph, and they will help you for the referent. And we did this in Unit 1. Okay, these are pronoun references. So you should be able to find each of these pronoun reference from the paragraphs. Here we go. Critical thinking. So they tell us a bit about making inferences. Inferences are basically educated guesses. Okay, when you make an inference, you are using your knowledge to think beyond the ideas that the author states in the text. Inferring means analyzing the information that is provided in a text to find out other information that was not given to you. In other words, you are looking for ideas that are suggested by the author but not directly stated. There is a video where you can figure out more about how that works, but basically an inference is not when the author doesn't tell you exactly what the answer is, but infers it, meaning that you can take the knowledge that you're given and guess what the outcome is for a certain situation. So you're not supplied with the answer, but you're supplied with enough information that you can infer or have an educated guess on what the outcome might be. So they give you a few questions here. Next page, there's some more discussion. Okay. There's 3 questions, and I want you to choose one of them and write a short paragraph, so 3 or 4 sentences. So choose one of these questions that you are confident that you can answer most fully. Do you think you are a non-taster, a medium taster, or a super taster? Why? So you have to state a reason. What foods do you really like or dislike? Choose one food and describe what you like or dislike about it. So in each of these questions you're asked for at least 2 sentences to explain reasons and give examples. Number 3, in addition to the type of tasters they are, what are other possible reasons why people like certain foods and don't like others? Okay. Let's see. I don't like tomatoes. which is very strange because I enjoy ketchup on lots of food. I can eat tomato sauce, red sauce on my pasta, no problem. But I can't like eat a tomato like it's like a fruit, you know. Like I can't. It's the texture that, for me, that drives me crazy. I just don't enjoy it at all, and that might be because I didn't enjoy it as a child. So to this day, I can eat tomato sauce. I can drink tomato juice, like a Caesar or something, no problem. But I can't chew into a tomato or eat a slice because of the texture. But I can eat the sauce and pour ketchup on my French fries, no problem. It's very strange. A lot of people have some similar disqualifications with certain foods. Anyway, think about what you learned, answering the question. There is a reading skill section next, and this is about previewing. We've already done the preview for the last 3 readings, but it means going through a text quickly to find the topic and main ideas. Previewing gives you a general understanding of the reading. So when you preview, the goal is to predict what the text is going to talk about. So usually you start with the title and headings, looking at the photos and pictures, or graphics if there's any other, like bar charts or whatever. Read the first and last paragraphs if you want the introduction and conclusion. After you preview, you should be able to think about the topic, overall topic, and the ideas that you might encounter. So when you preview reading 2, okay, you should be able to go through these, the topic and the ideas. There's some more practice going on for that. Alright, as for Monday, I'm going to stop here. Not a very long, just half an hour, not a very long discussion, but I'm going to stop here for reading 1, and reading discussion class 05. I'll probably send you another video for Wednesday to go through a bit more of Unit 2, but reading discussion 07 and 09, I will see you on class on Thursday. So we're going to pick up where we left off here. Anyways, all of you guys should be able to work through this much before Chuseok is over, and most importantly, submit Unit 1 into me on Edmodo on time. Pictures right side up, okay, clearly legible so I can read your answers. Don't forget your online workbook gradebook page, also included in your submission, and enjoy your Chuseok. Okay, I will be seeing you all very soon in class, I hope. Fingers crossed. There's nobody that gets sick. Anyways, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.